Welcome live to Hammond Student Center here.
Continue to tonight's undisputed game.
We do want to let everybody know that in the starting lineup will be Will Dean for NCC. He suffered a knee injury against the KC East Lions, something that we will have to monitor throughout the day. As the tip is up in the air, and it will be won by NCC. NCC will be working left to right on your screen as a quick three from the corner will be missed by Savage. Rebound comes down into the hands of OKC Storm, and they'll be working right to left in the powder blue uniforms that they are wearing for the first time all week. Now corner basketball, looking to be back around top of the key to Luke Major. Major, the 6'6" sophomore, will pass it right side to the point guard. Now into the hands of Major. Looking down low, nothing available. The first three of the game is on the way and missed by Delon Mukes. Back quickly, right side, three-pointer. Hollander is missed. NCC cold to start off the game. Now right side, OKC will work it up into the front court. Shot up and no good. Tip and taken by Caleb Hollander of NCC. Two blue-colored uniforms out there as the Warriors rocking what looks to be the throwback Warriors uniforms and of course, the powder blue. Kind of like the Buffalo Bison look. Quick drive baseline, C.J. Herbert quickly into the lane. Then the first 2 points of the 2016 National Championship go to the junior, C.J. Herbert.
I think both these teams are looking for that early bucket to kind of settle things down. NCC gets on the board first. We'll see how OKC responds.
Back into the front court. The pass is down low. It was intended for Major. It'll be out of bounds. Tip staying here with OKC Storm. Already, we see both teams trying to feel each other out. C.J. Herbert, a great drive, as Tevin Townsend will touch it for the first time. He's an electric athlete. Shot on the drive is long. A big rebound pulled in by Hollander. Back right side, the pass will go down low. Caleb Savage, quick feed to Hollander. Hollander shot up off the glass and good.
Hollander obviously such a huge part of the game last night as he had 22 first half points in that eventual victory.
Hollander, of course, the leading scorer of this Warrior squad. He's the player to watch out for in tonight's game. Let's take a quick look at the starters for both squads as we have Tevin Townsend driving the lane. Shot up, no good. Herbert down with it. He'll pass off to Liam Morrell. They are backcourt mates as Liam will pass down low to Will Dean. Will Dean's down there with Hollander. As Morrell steps back, three-pointer is missed. And Caleb Savage. As for the OKC Storm, they will have Tevin Townsend, Delon Mukes, Luke Major, as well as Ian Ferris, and the point guard, as the ball is almost stolen off to the near side left, and it will be taken. Point guard Tanner Fike also in the starting lineup, but back comes Will Dean. Dish down low, Hollander for two.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how long Coach Talbot will let this go before he needs to call a timeout, perhaps to settle his guys down, as Townsend has taken a couple of ill-advised shots and unable to find any rhythm on offense.
Still back into the front court, only a 6-0 lead. On the right side, Townsend calls for a screen. Major comes over to set. Townsend thinks about the three and will pass back off to Tanner Fike. About midway through the opening quarter, Fike working right side. Will pass back off into the hands of Townsend. He calls for separation. And a timeout will be taken exactly like what you called. We're going to see if it's a 30-second or full. It's going to be...
Call a timeout to talk about it.
Luke Major will be the trigger man. Slow start on the offensive end for the OKC Storm. Pass back into the backcourt for Fike. He'll look to work against Liam Morrell. Back to a man-to-man defense, it seems like. No, it's actually going to be still a zone of the pass. Intended in the corner for Townsend, out of bounds.
And that NCC crowd is right on the baseline of where the Storm are working on offense. We'll see if that affects the game.
You know, I would have to say probably two of the strongest fan sections are the two teams that are here on the court right now. As Hollander gets another two in the lane. He's got 6 early points.
We're speaking of big-time players stepping up in big moments. Well, Hollander had a couple of tough years the last 2 years as he faced a big-time injury, and then last year played but was still coming back. This year fully healthy, looking to win that undisputed.
Great ball reversal, leads to an open three by Luke Major, and the OKC Storm are on the board for the first time.
And if Major can hit those shots, it'll really open things up for OKC, as he's one of the tallest players on the team and able to knock it from the outside.
Hollander thought about the three instead. Liam Morrell has the corner open. He's going to be short. C.J. Herbert there for the stick back and the foul. Ian Ferris will pick it up. Ferris gets his first foul. That's going to send C.J. Herbert to the line as he has continued his strong performance in the tournament this year. Sub into the game will be number 23, Jacob Grisham. The 6'2" freshman gets his first action of the championship game. Herbert nails a free one. The lead now 7. I tell you what, it looks as if NCC is catching OKC sleeping here in the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know if OKC thought that NCC was going to come out this strong. A couple of quick early substitutions for Coach Talbot as Grisham and Dallas Parker checked in, and I think that'll be, maybe he's looking to shake things up early on.
As you mentioned, a couple more subs into the game. Dallas Parker getting his first action underneath the rim as well. Will Dean, a good dump down. There's C.J. Herbert. Hesitation to get Townsend off his feet, and Herbert already has 7.
You mentioned Herbert with 7. Hollander has 6. Those are the only 2 scorers for NCC, but they have an already double-digit lead.
And the defense of Liam Morrell leads to the travel call. Turnover, giving it right back to the Warriors. Yeah, I don't know what you could do here to try and calm down this weathering storm. A diamond in one press being put on. A smart move by head coach Kurt Talbot. Try and get a little bit of a turnover, get the teams moving. Maybe a free bucket or two, a big dunk by Townsend might get a little bit of a fire ignited underneath your team.
That NCC defense is just so active with their hands and with their feet, doing a great job so far of really stifling anything OKC has been trying to put in.
Has to be worked up, very calm against the full court press. And there's Herbert again, shot miss. Savage can't corral the offensive board, out of bounds, off of Townsend. And there we saw a little spot on the floor. Good job with the towel again. These teams have been doing that all tournament. As another foul. If they're going to give this one to Jacob Grisham, that's going to be his second. It will be against Grisham. Passing in now, Savage has it in the corner, dumped down to Morrell. Hollander wide open, no good. Back comes OKC. Right side, Townsend, shot in the lane, that's what he needs.
Yeah, that was a big shot.
Well, Hollander responds. A spin move in the lane with the left hand for 2. Hollander with 8. Lead is still stuck at 10. It's been there for quite a while, under 2 minutes in the first quarter.
Hollander just so tough to handle.
And another turnover. Out of bounds on the line, Luke Major. And it is all NCC here early.
Yeah, it's a bad combination for OKC as they struggled on the offensive end. Meanwhile, on the other, NCC seems completely collected and poised on the offense, just making the right pass and finding the open guy.
Will Dean easily gets into the lane, but they're going to call a double dribble. Turnover, we'll give it right back. And it'll be now into the hands of the Storm.
I do want to mention a quick little programming note as our screen has the OKC Storm leading 15-5, but it's NCC leading 15-5.
And the ball will be passed inbounds. Storm have it, still in their possession. A 10-point lead as the foul was picked up by Caleb Savage. Worked back into the hands of Townsend. Townsend with the dribble will go left into the lane, and his athleticism shown there. He'll hang and finish for another 2. Back down to an 8-point lead. Warriors have it, though. Hollander, he's been the hot man, as well as C.J. Herbert. Dean, the epitome of a role player, will pass it around back to Herbert in the corner. Dean, a good find to Savage. Another and one opportunity as Savage lays it in for 2.
And right on cue, you talked about Will Dean being a role player. That time, unselfishly dishing a great no-look to Savage underneath for the N1.
You know, I covered the regional championship back in Westfield, Indiana, between the NCC Warriors and the Indianapolis Homeschool Wildcats. And Will Dean had to have around 10 assists. We called him Willie Dime Dean. Free throw up by Savage and good. A very surprising, fantastic free throw shooter is Caleb Savage. Lead all the way up to its largest of 11. Right side Townsend. He's been hot recently in the shot in the lane. How about this? A moving screen is called, picked up by Ian Ferris, and this is going to be his second foul.
Well, as bad as things have been for the Storm in this first quarter, and I'm sure Coach Talbot is not like what he's seen, the game far from out of reach, just 11 points, and that's going to be, I expect the Storm to make a run.
Back comes Liam Morrell in the lane. That's going to be an offensive foul right back. Morrell will pick up the foul. Only his first. That'll be the team's second foul, though. So with 13 seconds left, a chance for OKC to put a dent in this lead to end the first quarter. They'll go left side to Townsend. Crossover dribble. Will go right back top of the key now. They don't even see the clock, and the shot was attempted after the buzzer sounded. And if that is any indication of what has happened here in the first quarter, that truly is what it is. With the score at the end of 18-7.
Perhaps not expecting a blow to the mouth that they've taken, and we'll see how they respond as they're down 11 after one period.
But they do have the ball here first. It'll be worked into the front court by Grisham. Grisham with already 2 fouls. Two players. Ian Ferris with the other 2 fouls. And a quick drive by number 5, Delon Mukes. His shot is going to be missed, and another stick back goes off the mark. And that's a big call. Hollander over the back. Foul. We'll keep it here with OKC Storm. In yesterday's quarterfinal matchup against KC East, the NCC Warriors had 3 players in foul trouble, Caleb Hollander being one of those. And that could be something OKC Storm want. Shot in the lane, missed. Stick back is good.
You mentioned the quarterfinal game. Ian Ferris scored a lot of first half points. I believe he had 21 in the first half against HCYA in their quarterfinal win as well, so he could be big for OKC.
Faster than you can get that out. It was already in the hands of C.J. Herbert underneath the basket. He'll go to the line for 2 free throws. That foul was picked up by Delon Mukes as Herbert knocks the first in. Extremely quick getting the ball inbounds off a make shot from the other team, and already you're at the line getting more points.
Yeah, a lot of times you see teams do that off of a made shot. They'll really push the break before the defense has a chance to set up, and that time it paid off as Herbert got to the line.
Knocks down both, lead back to 11. Already the 16th foul on OKC Storm. Townsend looking to do it himself. Couple of crossover dribbles, and he'll deny back into the hands of Ferris. Left side Townsend. A good hesitation, shot on the baseline, miss, but they're going to get a foul on Savage. That'll be his second. So you already see what the plan is here for OKC Storm, not settling for outside shots after they did a lot there in the first, trying to connect and create on your own. Free throw miss short by Townsend. More subs coming in as Josh Major checks in for the first time. And back will be Tanner Fife.
And Townsend was fouled on that last shot, but even that one, it looked like he was ready to shoot that mid-range fall away, while NCC is still looking to get it inside for those layups.
Tevin Townsend not into the game, misses both free throws, crucial free throws, a chance for the Warriors to extend the lead even more. Will Dean into the corner, Hollander short. Back come OKC Storm. Left side, Fike. Fike looks into the hands now of Luke Major. Major with the drive, out into the corner, 3-ball, and that's a big one. Now a quick pass up, and the first mistake on the offensive end will be made by the Warriors. Out of bounds, giving it right back to OKC. That three-pointer was knocked down by Josh Major, comes in cold, and knocks it down straight off the bat.
And you mentioned how big of a shot it was. We'll see if OKC can get a little momentum now as they have back-to-back possessions.
Fike with the basketball. Hesitation. Will go into the high post, and another foul is called. This one will go against number 14, who just checked back in, Liam Morrell. That's going to be his second. He's going to have to come out for his younger brother, Luke. Foul trouble now trickling in for NCC. As the Storm look to pass in. 6:14 left here in the second quarter, and a long three, Mukes. That is a big one.
And once they start seeing some of those shots falling, it can get contagious.
Now his foul is called. Wow. An offensive foul called on Hollander. You know, I'm not sure about that one. Seemed as if he was just reaching for the ball. And from underneath came Josh Major. But the foul was called. It'll give it back to OKC. And now, 2 fouls on Hollander.
If anything, I think I would have let that one go no contact, as both players trying to jockey for position and get that ball.
Townsend, a quick drive to the bucket. He'll miss the lay-in. Warriors back now on offense. Attacked by Hollander. He'll pass off. Dean, three-pointer in the corner. And they've gone cold. But Luke Morrell will pull in the miss. His shot is blocked. Right side now, Hollander. Drive and dish. Melton, three-pointer. And he'll miss another. Warriors hold.
Some good looks, though. I think the more looks like that they'll get, they'll start knocking them down.
Pass on the left side. Townsend wants to join the party. And he'll miss another. Rebound back now for Will Dean, back to Luke Morrell.
I don't know if Townsend is a little too amped up, but his shots have been off this game.
Working it back for Melton. It'll now be taken into the corner for Dean. Down low, Hollander. A great entry pass by Dean, and Hollander lays it in.
And now Hollander is in double digits as the great inside-out game as they found him down low.
And a foul will be called on the drive. Tanner Fike looking to go left side as Melton will pick up his first.
Well, and I think now NCC and OKC are just now starting to see how the refs are calling this game. Calling it a little tighter than the other games we've seen this tournament, in my opinion, as now both teams will be going to the line on the next foul.
Going to send Tanner Fike, the 5'9" senior, to the line. A great flow he has on the top of that head. A little bit of a man bun working as well as the first free throw is up, and he's going to miss.
OKC's got to knock down free throws. We've already seen Townsend miss a pair. Fike missed the front end of that one-on-one, and in a game like this, you just can't afford that.
Melton looks to hurt, and he will miss. When we say cold, other than the land by Hollander, we haven't seen much here at all in the second quarter by NCC. Bringing it back, looking right side in a drive baseline, hanging in the air and passing off. Now Luke Major is going to miss.
Great rebound by Hollander as he snags it with one hand.
Warriors, chance to extend the lead all the way down to 7. As Hollander passes into the corner, a good drive by Luke Morrell, passing right back out to Hollander. Melton down low. Herbert, comfortable in the post, passes out, three-pointer. Melton misses again.
Somebody put a lid on that basket.
I really have. Still a 7-point lead. They'll work it around. OKC. The best way I can describe it is a Buffalo Bison uniform and a drive and miss. And the stick back up and in by Tanner Fight.
I don't know if he's the shortest player on the court, but he's right there. And that time gets the offensive rebound putback over everyone else.
Dean, a good drive and dish. Herbert, turn around in the lane, and Herbert stops the bleeding.
And Herbert's been the man so far for NCC as he's got 11 quick points.
You know, you look at NCC, Herbert and Hollander, the two players that have really erupted. And then you take a look at OKC with the drive of Townsend. Shot is short and a foul picked up by Tevin Townsend. If you look at OKC, they have spread out scoring. Townsend, Mukes, Fike, Major, Ferris, all on the board. Ian Ferris will check back in. That's the first foul on Tevin Townsend. And it looks like the OKC Storm will be picking up man-to-man. Dropping back in his zone now. Hollander and Luke Morrell working around the top. Melton looks down low to Herbert. Herbert out to Dean. Dean in the lane. Good.
And I love the way that NCC is attacking this zone. Every time they come up to the three-point line, they're looking for that dribble. And if it's not there, then they suck in that defense and kick it off or kick it to the high post.
9-point lead. Townsend, big response. That's actually Mukes from the side. DeLon Mukes get his second three of the night.
And he just checked into the game and knocks down a big-time shot.
Mukes responds. Down to 6. And a cross-court pass. Hollander wants the response, and he'll get it.
He makes it look so effortless as he barely loads up at all. Just kind of looks like he flicks his wrist, and it's, man, that's a nice shot.
You know, Paul, I know we have a whole second half left as the drive is missed by Townsend, tipped around and taken by Will Dean. We'll call this quickly as Dean will be blocked in the lane. Out. Melton three-pointer. Good.
Oh, boy, and that's a big-time shot. You mentioned Mukes' shot was big. That's equally as big, as it's a big difference at halftime, looking up at the scoreboard, seeing a double-digit deficit as opposed to 5 or 6 points.
Back-to-back threes by the NCC Warriors give them a 12-point lead. Right side into the lane, a good finish, but his left short, and a foul over the back. If this is on Ian Ferris, that will be his third.
And it looks like a lot of OKC's offense on their end has been a lot of one-on-one drives. And not that they've been bad drives, it's just a lot of one-on-one action. And you look at NCC, and you're getting 4, 5, 6 passes before a shot even goes up on the other end. And I think that's been a big difference in this game.
Will Dean at the line, 1 in the bonus for the 6'1 junior. Dean, free throw, short, but gets his own rebound. Into the lane, he'll pass back out. Hollander again, no. Melton there for another rebound. And Dean into the lane. They'll slow it down. Dean, he'll go. Shot up, missed. Tip back, oh wow, another offensive rebound. Melton again, no. Hollander sinks it and bound to Herbert, but Herbert will lose it to Townsend. Wow. Herbert crossover into the front court, goes right side, pass, and an offensive foul on Tevin Townsend, his second.
Well, we talked about before the game as OKC's one of their major players is Townsend, and this has not been his game, and what a time to have a poor performance so far.
You know, it seems as if they are waiting for his drive. They sit in the lane and they will draw charges. A great call by Coach Mac Morrell.
Against this NCC team, and they have really struggled.
How about this? Another turnover, but Will Dean did step on the line. It'll give it back to the OKC Storm.
That's a good call by the ref on both of those calls, looking right down the line.
A quick look at the scoring, 11 for Herbert there in the first quarter. First half, pardon me, as Major looks to drive. Three-pointer was thought of by Mukes. You know, OKC does not need to try and come back and win this all in one trip, meaning no stupid shots. Get it bit by bit, a bit of a cherry pick by Herbert, and he'll lay it in for two.
That's a nice way for Herbert to start. He had 11 first half points, now up to 13.
13 for Herbert. Trevor Melton had 3. Hollander, of course, chipped in his typical 13. 2 for Will Dean and 3 for Caleb Savage. Crossover dribble by Major as he'll bring it back out. Major now hands off to Mukes. Quick look at the scoring for OKC. 4 for Townsend, 6 for Mukes, 2 for Fike, 3 for Luke Major, 3 for Josh Major. Ian Ferris had 2 for the total of 20 as they get in the lane, and a foul is called. It's going to send number 23, Jacob Grisham, to the line.
Yeah, nobody put a body on Grisham, and he just came flying through the lane, and he's going to be at the line for 2.
Will Dean will pick up the foul. At the line is the freshman Grisham. He'll nail the first. Grisham has 1 point as sub into the game with Tanner Fike. He started the game and now will check in only a minute 14 into the second half. Missouri State University is where we are right now as the second free throw is good. 2 for 2 from the line for Jacob Grisham. Now down to 12 again. Right side, it's Hollander. Hollander is a fantastic ball player. Now Savage with it in the corner. Looking like it's a 2-3 zone being put on by the Storm. Bit of a man-to-man principle. Liam Morrell goes baseline. Nothing. Willie Dean passes into the hands now of the missed jumper by Savage. It was blocked, and back comes the Storm.
That was a nice, that's better defense from the Storm. That time when they got it inside, you saw 3 players collapse on the ball, and they get the ball back.
2 minutes into the second half, already a steal, and Hollander went up to dunk it with 2 hands, but he is going to miss the lay-in.
And his coach wasn't very fond of that, as he thought he should have just laid it in.
Foul will be on Savage over the back with the rebound. That's going to be Caleb Savage's 3rd foul. The 6'7" senior will stay on the court. And that's 2 points that they just gave up.
And in a game like this, you hate to give up any points, as you have no idea how it'll come to play later on in the game.
Working it around now. Storm, shot on the way and good. A great start to the second half by Jacob Grisham. He's got 4 points. Passing it around, stolen back, comes the Storm. Fike will hand off to Townsend. Townsend out to the corner. And a step back 3 was thought of, but instead it's Townsend baseline. He hangs and can't finish at the rim. Liam Morrell, left side now Herbert. Herbert will work it out to Hollander. Thought about the 3, instead will pass out to Dean. They are so patient on the offensive end. Down low, Hollander got the space and laid it in for 2. The foul called as well.
You mentioned the patience. That time, Dean could have taken that 3, could have made it. He was wide open. However, worked it inside for a much closer shot and get it to your man Hollander, and he puts it in and 1.
How about who just picked up that foul for OKC? Ian Ferris, the 6'3 junior, known as a great post player even for his size, will have to come out with 4 fouls.
It's been an oddity of a game, as well as Townsend and Ferris have been the 2 guys for OKC this tournament, and neither of them able to get anything going this game. Ferris with 4 fouls and Townsend with just 2 points.
Hollander, a spectacular free throw shooter, will miss the and 1, and a quick shot up, no good. Back, Liam Morrell. He'll stop and pull it out to Hollander to the trailer 3, and it's going to be off to the left. Back for Townsend.
That would have been a backbreaker for OKC.
Slowing it down is Townsend. He'll get fouled on the drive. Herbert will pick up the foul. You know, I love C.J. Herbert's game. a fantastic player who can get it down low. For his size, he plays a lot bigger than 6 foot.
Pound for pound, you're right. He plays really well. He gets not afraid to get down there, get those rebounds, and put him back up.
Shot is up in a great box out by C.J. Herbert. Back come the Warriors. Herbert has it right elbow. He'll work it back around to Liam Morrell in a pass. I don't know if that was an alley-oop, but it was a quick lay-in with the right hand, as it will now be passed off for OKC Storm.
I think that's what he was trying to do.
Right. We'll give him that. Back into the front court. The pass off by Fike into the hands now of a player who has played fantastic here in the second half. It's the freshman Grisham. Working it around back to Grisham. Still a 12-point lead. And the drive and dish in the corner now back out. Grisham, long ball, is missed. Tipped around and Herbert will take it. It's going to be out of bounds. They're saying going to the Warriors. A big call right there.
Not a lot of scoring so far to open up this third quarter, as teams have been kind of cold starting. But as you mentioned, NCC still up 12.
A packed gymnasium. Both sides now slowly filling up. As a drive and dish out to the hands of Dean. Herbert has it in the baseline. And how about Morrell? He's taken a couple, has yet to connect on a deep ball. And back will come the Storm. Working it into the hands now of Luke Major. The 6'6" sophomore has fantastic length. Very slow with the basketball and will hand off now to Grisham. It's been a slow start to the second half, as you mentioned, and a foul is called off the ball. How about this? Going against C.J. Herbert now. 2 fouls on Herbert.
That's another one of those plays where I'm not sure I saw a foul. I saw 2 players working for position. A lot of times you'll see the refs let that go, but that time Herbert was whistled for a foul.
Time as OKC will work it into the hands now of Luke Major. I believe, is that foul called?
Yeah, I think they called an offensive foul on Gresham.
Offensive foul on Gresham, his third. That's a big foul picked up. Either way, it'll be worked up into the hands now of the NCC Warriors. Warriors will work it around left side into the hands again of Liam Morrell. It's been a 12-point deficit since halftime. Left side, Melton just checked back into the game now, Hollander. Melton goes high post, work back right side to Hollander. Now Liam Morrell looking to make a move. And will pass off to Dean. Dean, known for his passing ability, will work it right side to Liam. A quick drive and dish in the corner. Herbert shot up and missed. But a big offensive rebound taken in by the Warriors.
Warriors have just been completely scrappy in this game, getting those 50-50 balls and those extra possessions.
Hollander slows it down now. Clock can be eaten up with a 12-point lead, but don't want to take out your game plan. But this is how NCC plays, really.
Right. You want to make sure you're not playing not to lose. You want to make sure you're playing to win.
Tip ball almost taken by Townsend. And that would have been a big-time power slam by Tevin Townsend. Instead, it's just a turnover. Now OKC will have the ball again.
And Coach Morrell not happy with that pass. A lot of times you don't want to see those cross-court passes, as their athleticism of OKC is so lengthy and able to tip that away.
Back for the Storm. Couple crossover dribbles now out into the post. Oh, and a pass intended into the corner. And that'll be a turnover.
Miscommunication, and Coach Talbot has got to be wondering what's going on with his guys.
It's going to be a pass inbounds. Luke Morrell having to go left, and a foul called. And how about this? 4 on Gresham now.
And he's quickly going to come out for mutes.
Not the pressure defense you want there, but still, you got to get something going. An extremely quiet crowd waiting for something to happen as Luke Morrell will pass it inbound.
I think the crowd has been lulled to sleep.
Yeah, they have.
I think they can be woken up at any time by a gentleman named Townsend or Hollander.
Tanner Fike will pick up the foul, tripping. And OKC Storm need to make a run. It's been a 12-point deficit since halftime. Both teams only scoring 4 in the second half.
And that's just fine by NCC.
Absolutely.
They want it that way.
12-point deficit into the fourth quarter would be taken by any team in the national championship. And a foul from behind will be called on Townsend.
I'm not sure I agree with that foul either. It looked like Townsend just went over the top and poked it away. I'm not sure there's a lot of body contact there.
And a work into the post, and Hollander lays it in. If you're cold, you know you can rely on a player like Caleb Hollander. Shot up in the lane, no good. But it will be Mukes heading to the line.
It's not a bad foul by Will Dean as Mukes drives the lane. And again, not a great shot that Mukes could have got up because of that foul, as opposed to oftentimes you'll see a foul leading to an and one if it's not a strong foul. So good foul from Will Dean.
And Mukes misses another free throw. Not just him personally, the entire OKC squad has truly struggled from the line, 0 for 2 on that trip. Liam Morrell slows it down. I'm sure Mac Morrell would be sufficed with holding for one. A 14-point lead here at the national championship. Herbert called it the travel. That's the one knack on Herbert, is the fact that sometimes he does pull that his pivot foot. He's been called for a couple of travels tonight.
NCC up by 14 now, as they are the first Midwest team to ever make the undisputed national championship game, but playing like they've been there before.
The pass is working around now. It'll be taken by the point guard. Now working it on the outside, Tanner Fike. 19 seconds left. He'll pass off. Working it now. Back to Fike. Down to 10 seconds. Pass intended for Mukes. Stolen. Luke Morrell taken back by Townsend. He'll get in the lane. And how about this? Another offensive foul.
That was a savvy move by Laurel Morrell to step in and take that charge. And that's the fourth on Townsend as well. And we saw both Townsend and Ferris foul out of the HCYA game. And now they both have 4 once again in this undisputed national championship.
Pass inbounds with 1 second. Hollander is going to be blocked by Mukes.
And at the top level, as these players have 8 minutes separating them from the title of undisputed champion.
As you mentioned, champion will be crowned after 8 minutes of playtime, and a block right there to set the tone for the fourth as Will Dean takes it back, and he'll walk the length of the court as this foul. Wow. Ian Ferris never got started in this one. 2 points total for the junior, just fouled out.
Wow is right.
It'll be worked all the way up into the front court now, as free throws will be coming. Of course, and then you see my favorite thing of all the games, when someone fouls out, they go and they shake the hand of the opposing coach. This shows the amount of sportsmanship that comes with this tournament.
It's been a great week of games so far, but even more so, even through all the heartbreak of some of the losses and all the other things that go on, at the end of the day, it's all about that. It's about family and sportsmanship, and that's the reason why we're here, and it's good to see that from Mr. Ferris.
Dean knocks down both free throws, and the largest lead of the game now, 16. The NCC fans get on their feet as a drive and a foul will be called. It's going to be the 16th foul. And that foul, I do believe, will go against Luke Morrell. No, that's going to go against Hollander, his third. Working it in. Now into the hands of the newly entered Storm player, Dallas Parker. Dribble with the left hand, Luke Major tries to get a screen and a movement on Hollander. Great defense. Storm down in a big deficit, largest of the tournament. Drive with the hand and a good finish by Grisham. That'll help out a bit.
Grisham playing older than his age right now, as he's had some great moves for the Storm in this game.
Now Liam Morrell on the left side. He's double teamed, and that's exactly what you want to see. A timeout taken now.
It's because you see that defense getting them completely energized by those baskets.
Liam Morrell passes into Caleb Hollander. Hollander dribble with the right hand and will pass off to Will Dean. Dean back out to Luke Morrell. Almost an over and back as he'll get in the lane and his layup will be long. But Herbert, extremely active. Foul on the floor will send Herbert to the line for a couple of free throws, or one in the bonus actually. This foul will be picked up by Dallas Parker, his first.
And Herbert completely saved that possession for NCC, as there's 3 Storm players surrounding the ball, and he tips it to himself, gets fouled, goes to the line. Just a big momentum shift, even just mentally for the Storm.
Second shot is up and in. Now back to a 16-point lead. It's going to be into the hands of the Storm. They need something quickly. Parker down low, pass out, three-pointer. Grisham misses. Will Dean gets the rebound. Now Hollander. Met in the backcourt, back to Dean. It's looking as if NCC is clinging on to this 16-point lead and maybe a chance to be crowned as the new national champion.
Yeah, they're in complete control right now. But a nice block there from Parker.
And it'll be back into the front court for the Storm. Working it around, right hand shot up and good. Major hits a major shot. Coming back down now to 13 points. In the backcourt, close to a 10-second call. They'll get it across. Liam Morrell finds a cutting Dean. His lay-in is good.
And that's a great response for NCC. Major knocked down a three-pointer, and every single time that OKC has tried to respond and get back in it, NCC has just answered right back.
The Storm will kick it out. Another three. Mukes is going to miss. Hollander, a fantastic rebounder, pulls it in. Back comes Caleb all the way, laying short. Storm, Townsend, up to Mukes. He'll work it down to a cutting player, and the lay-in is good. Back live, the final 5 minutes of play. Will Dean and the NCC Warriors have themselves a big lead. Brent Young alongside Paul Gilmore giving you the final game of action in this long week of homeschool basketball. A drive by Dean, he'll dish out, and Hollander will hold it. They're going to run some time. Hollander now in the lane will pass back out to Liam Morrell over to his brother Luke. And already on this possession, Paul, you see 30 seconds run off.
Yeah, NCC is in complete control right now, and it's going to be really frustrating for the Storm, running all over the court, burning a lot of energy, and still seeing that clock tick.
Pass back around Dean, off to Luke Morrell. We are midway through the fourth quarter. Herbert, they have run a full minute off the clock.
And the guard play in that aspect is so huge, as the Morrell brothers, just great handle, great patience, good passing, and they're able to just continue this. I guess now we can officially call it a stall.
Liam Morrell, Luke Morrell, CJ Herbert, Caleb Hollander, and Will Dean. I cannot find a bad ball handler out there. And the foul is finally picked up on Mukes. That's going to send Will Dean to the line. Remember, Will Dean hurt his knee in the KC East Lions game in the quarterfinals, which the NCC Warriors obviously won. Did not play last night in the OT victory over Aggieland, and now having a very valiant game in the national championship. Herbert is going to miss the front end of the 1-and-1. Airball fashion will send it back to OKC. But a minute and 33 seconds run off the clock on that possession.
And that's ultimately a win for NCC. And at that point, that's Giles Shelton who's in the game. His feet were on the white line. He didn't recognize it. And a costly turnover for OKC.
Sub into the game comes back the freshman Jacob Grisham. He's had a great second half.
That's a smart move from Coach Talbot, as even though Major has been a huge part of this game for OKC, he's got to go guard heavy now to guard the NCC front court that's out there and try and match up small for small with speed.
Caleb Hollander tracked down a pass that was almost thrown straight out of bounds, but it was actually last touched by Mukes, and a quick steal off the inbound pass. With 3:14 left here in the ball game, the Storm need a bucket. Left side, Mukes into the lane, a good dump down in the lane, no good. But Hollander picks up the foul, and this is going to send to the line the senior Tanner Fike. The 5'9" senior has a chance to bring him back within 11.
And not as critical as earlier in the ball game, but it is worthy to note that that's Hollander's fourth. So the next one in Hollander will foul out of the game.
Fike connects. OKC has truly struggled from the free throw line in tonight's game. Second ball is up, and it's going to be long. Pass will be worked around now as the Storm look to take some time off themselves, which is not understandable as they'll drive into the lane, shot up. Mukes, a great job trying to bat it back in, but it'll go back to the NCC Warriors. Hollander will get a 10-second violation in the backcourt.
Yeah, good job from the Storm there, putting pressure. As soon as that rebound was corralled, they brought the pressure, and a couple of extra seconds in the backcourt as NCC tried to figure out that press, and then ultimately it was called a 10-second violation.
So it is a 12-point game still, but it's a big opportunity for the Storm to connect on a bucket, maybe a three ball here from Mukes, and it is. It's a single.
For the Storm, their little role reversal tonight is last night against New Way, they nearly were overtaken after having a 16-point lead late in the fourth. We'll see if they can do the same here.
And a good out-of-bounds play leaves Luke Morrell open, as Luke will get into the front court and pick up his dribble, and it's tipped and stolen. Oh, they give it right back. NCC still with possession. A golden opportunity missed by the OKC Storm.
And not a whole lot of places that Grisham could have gone with that pass. Good steal from him to tip that away. Just as he's falling out of bounds, he did all that he could, but savvy play by Morrill to step in and re-steal that back.
Will Dean at the line. He'll knock it down. Dean 1 for 2 so far tonight. Actually, 2 for 3 now. As he'll miss that one. And back with a 10-point lead. Pardon me. Down 10 is the Storm. Storm a quick drive. Townsend, he'll miss it. Gets his step back in. Townsend has been extremely quiet. He'll get on the board for the first time in the second half. And another steal. It'll be taken by Giles Shelton. Pass back off to Townsend. Townsend driving to the lane. Shot is up. No good. Rebound. Put back. Miss. Another stick back. Is going to be up. It's going to send the freshman Jacob Grisham to the line but yet again, the ball just will not fall for the OKC Storm.
And the Storm
Crowned a new champion at the line. It'll be Jacob Grisham. Grisham, the opportunity to knock in 2 free throws and see if the Storm can continue the comeback. He'll nail the first. Bray Young alongside Paul Gilmore. And Paul, I guess I should stop saying until we crown a new champion. Actually, no. Who took home the national champion last year?
Oklahoma City Storm.
That is correct. So I need to stop saying until we crown a new champion, as the OKC Storm might be returning champions and defending champions. As it'll be Luke Morrell back. The second free throw was missed by Grisham. And a foul will be called. This will send Luke Morrell to the line with a 7-point lead.
And as large as NCC has had a lead, 7 points right now still doesn't feel completely out of reach. NCC still has to put these free throws in to feel good about it. And that's going to be a miss on the first one.
Left side missed by Luke Morrell. You see the fan section of the OKC Thunder, Storm, trying to create a bit of a noise on the miss, but it is a knockdown free throw by Luke Morrell. Back into the front court, and an aggressive take by Jacob Grisham. He's had the best game for anyone on the OKC Storm.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with young Grisham, as he's been the guy who's kept them in it in the second half.
Liam Morrell almost with the travel, and they're working around. Dean tipped and stolen by Townsend. A 6-point game with 1 minute remaining. Townsend into the lane. Layup, no good, but a blocking foul is called. That's a big call.
And I think it's the right one, as Townsend drove the lane, stepped to the side, and it looks like Morrell took that on the side. And a nice move from Townsend to get himself to the line. And again, trying to get points on the board with no time off the clock.
Tevin Townsend at the line, the 6'7" senior, only 6 points on the night. Make that 7 with a made free throw. The lead down to 5. It has not been this close since the early stages of the first half.
And the great players know when it's time to step up. Townsend, who's been quiet all game long, knows that this season hangs in the balance with a minute left.
Townsend missed 2 free throws earlier. That time he looked automatic. Lead down to 4 as Dean gets it into the front court. He's going to step. Oh, wow.
The ref is going to say that Grisham did poke it from behind, and he was the last one to touch it as it hit the line before Dean picks it back up.
They're going to say yes. So it's going to stay with Warriors. That was almost costly for the NCC Warriors as Dean will work it around. Liam Morrell now goes back to Dean, and they'll run it down to 45 seconds as Dean gets fouled. He'll head to the free throw line where he has been near 50% on the night.
I was just about to ask, at what point did they want to start fouling? And after the first several passes that looked pretty clean from NCC, they realized, all right, we need to stop this clock.
Will Dean, 6'1" senior. He struggled from the line throughout the night, but of course, he nets that one with ease. Second goes through as well. Ice water in the veins for Will Dean, and the lead is pushed back to 6. Quickly, Grisham, a drive in the lane. This time, Luke Morrell tried to come again. Another blocking foul will now send Grisham to the line with 2 free throws. Luke Morrell will get his second foul. More importantly, the freshman, Jacob Grisham, at the line for 2 free throws. He's going to miss the first.
And that's tough to swallow, as Dean hit 2 on the other end, and Grisham trailing, unable to hit his first so far.
9 for Grisham, all in the second half. We'll make it 10 now. And the lead back down to 6. Pardon me, 5 now. 48-43, and I'm surprised they haven't fouled yet. They'll look to get it across the half-court line. Now they will foul. No, Dean will make it all the way down. Hollander, flip shot is good.
And that's a big-time shot. That may be all she wrote, but we'll see if Grisham has anything to say about that.
Grisham short on the three. I just questioned why they didn't foul earlier. Liam Morrell, they are still not fouling. Liam Morrell into the front court. He'll pass it off to Will Dean. OKC isn't fouling. And they finally will, but not until 1.8 left on the clock.
And Coach Morrill is all the way in the student section right now as he is pumped up, and his fans look about ready to bum rush this court.
I am perplexed, Mr. Gilmore, why they did not foul earlier.
And recognition setting in for the Oklahoma City Storm as they've had a tremendous season, nothing to hang their heads over as they made it back to the undisputed national championship game.
Will Dean gets ready to shoot the free throw. You know, I want to know what would happen if Caleb Hollander never had the knee issues he had early in his career.
And a classy move here as both coaches taking out Tevin Townsend for Oklahoma City and Hollander coming out getting the ovation and love from the NCC crowd.
Keenan Cox will check in. Back in for OKC Storm will be Josh Major. A great move as well as for OKC Storm. Dallas Parker in the game. Giles Shelton also out there. You love to see that move as well for NCC into the game will be Mariano Gruel. As the free throw is up, missed again by Dean. 1.8 seconds away from crowning the NCC Warriors of Nashville, Tennessee as the new national champion of NCHBC tournament.
Well, their first time making it here, and what a trip it was as the NCC Warriors are the 2016 Undefeated Team Awards as well.
A fantastic time here and a wonderful, wonderful week. And as you mentioned, just a huge thank you to everyone involved with the production, with everything. Of course, all the fellow broadcasters. A big thanks to the Flat family as well. A big thanks to Jeremy Bilek throwing my name out there in a complete awesome tournament. A lot of well-rounded kids here. And you know what, Paul, if you don't have anything else to say, we're going to go ahead and sign off. As for myself, Brent Young, for Paul Gilmore, a fantastic win. And the NCC Warriors take home the 2016 NCHBC National Championship. Congratulations, and everyone have a fantastic night.